Hello. This is what we were jamming out to in the Wealthy Coach today. Let me share this. Hey, hold on one second. I'm just going to share this. Let me do it online. 10xing your business using the holidays. 10xing your whole damn life using the holidays. Nobody talks about this. Nobody thinks about this. I'm going to drop bombs on you guys today. Let me go find you. Hi, say hi in the comments so I can see who's here. Hi. Share to my business page. You are currently on my personal page. Hey, Susan. 10x your life using the holidays. Okay, I'm not even kidding about this either. Like, this isn't a joke. I'm being so serious about this. Okay, it's shared. I know this is early and people are working and traveling, but I really wanted to get this out there, and I'm going out with my kids in a little bit, so hey. Okay, who's here? I can't see on Facebook who's here. Okay, so here's the deal. This is some stuff I was talking about earlier today with the girls. And basically, the concept is people will ease up, right? So like, there's these kind of socially acceptable moments in time when, hey Beth, there's these socially acceptable moments in time when we're allowed to kind of squirrel out or ease up or not push the gas pedal or not 10x our life. And like from here till January is that time, because everybody's like, oh, it's kind of like the ultimate I'll do it tomorrow. Like, oh, I'll do it on January 1st. This year, this is the income I'm gonna make, or this is the amount of, weight I'm gonna lose, or this is the kind of relationship I'm gonna have. And so what I've learned from going through this journey is basically like, that's not what really successful people do. Really successful people don't do that. Tell me if you know what I'm talking about. And have you guys heard the saying, because the saying changed my whole entire life? Have you guys, and are you familiar with it, and do you like the saying, like, don't crap out right before the finish line? I don't think that's exactly what the saying is. If somebody knows what it is, just put it in the comments. But it's something like that. It's something like crapping out right before the finish line. So that is basically what I'm gonna point out to you guys. So for those of you who are new to me, let me know in the comments. I know there was kind of a flood of new people onto my page. If you're new to me, let me know that this is your first time or that you're new to me. If you're in my tribe, send me some love in the comments. If you get value out of this, go ahead and share it. That actually helps me a lot when people share the videos. And then of course, the raw material, right? Like, here's the deal. Now you can't unhear this once I say it to you. So I know that the people here are the kind of people who are like, okay, I'm ready to really get results. So this is what it looks like. If we were to use the next however many weeks are left, I should have counted. I don't even know how many weeks are left in the year. And we were to actually set goals of like, this is my end of the year goal. This is the skills that I want to go into 2019 already having practiced and have under my belt. If I was going to like take my 2019 goals and multiply them by 100, right? Like, let's just play the game like we're here to actually change the world. Not the game of like, I'm trying to make a paycheck, I just have to pay my bills. Like, let's change the actual world. Like, let's play that. Do you see what I'm saying? So what if in 2019, you were going to 100x anything that you already kind of have visioned in your head, and you were just gonna skip a level entirely and you were gonna go absolutely to that next level in 2019? What would be required of you for these last few weeks of the year in order to have the skill sets and be in the mindset and be in the state of, in the energetic state for you to be able to show up and start straight off from the beginning of the year really epically and crush all the goals that you have for 2019. Like, this is the real question, and people don't, and like, if you're gonna just listen to what you're allowed to do and what you can kind of get away with, then this isn't gonna work. This is why I created Relentless. Oh, if Susan's on, can you drop the link in the comments? So, look, I'm gonna get into some of this stuff, but like the whole intention of creating the Relentless group is for the rare few people who will actually go through the holidays and use this to 10x where they're coming from so that we go into 2019 strong. And it's not for everybody. It's certainly not for everybody. Some people just really just kind of want to ease off the gas pedal and go through this. But my recommendation is to like, let's just not live by, okay, first of all, you're here to change the world. And you have a massive calling on your life, and not everybody does, but you do. And that's why you're doing things differently. That's why you show up and do things like this. And since you have that call in your life, you can't be comparing yourself to what everybody else is doing, even if it's almost everybody else, even if it's 99% of everybody else. If 99% of everybody else just kind of gets to fuck off during the holidays, they don't have the calling on your life that you do. Right? Do you hear what I'm saying? So we are called to do something different, and you have a skill set and a gift that's meant to be brought to this world. And by your being willing to use some discipline and show up through this holiday and really like 10x this stuff, you're going to go into 2019 strong, and you're going to reach, how many more people are you going to reach and heal? Hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands? I mean, like really, I went from 0 to 380K in 1 year. Right? Doubled it to 500K. And I was saying I'm on track for $1 million next year, and that is what I'm on track for, but I'm calling in something new. We're just gonna head straight to 2 million next year, which scares the crap out of me. It's even how I'm like, oh my God, I just said that online. Like that just went off in the back of my head. But like, if I were gonna show up and reach 2 million, because the amount of money I make in the bank is a reflection of how much work I've done with people, how much I've created and gave and like stepped into soul flow. Because God knows, if I was just left to my own devices, I'm not gonna be able to figure that out by myself. That's not happening, right? But like, if I'm truly in belief in like I'm wide open to receiving that, then what would be required of me? What would I need to learn? What would I need to do? What skills do I need to practice, right? Like, what are the things that are going to get me in a state where I can do this and I can really show up and serve the world to that level, right? So this was like the intention, complete intention behind the group. And so I'm just going to tell you guys about the group real quick, and then I'm going to finish getting into some of the specifics of 10xing life. And the biggest thing behind this is really the idea of like, you know, if you hear nothing else from this whole thing, it's really just the idea of like, you're different, and just like, suck it up, girlfriend. Like, time to own how powerful you really are and what you're meant to create and do here in this world. And that's just what it is. So your life's gonna look a lot different than the people around you, especially if you don't have tribes and mentors and people that you're in constant, you know, that are doing this kind of work and headed to where you are. And even then you might still soar past those people, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So you guys can head over to the sales page at mandyperry.com, but I'm gonna throw this in, and I never do this. I never tell you guys week by week what we're gonna get. First of all, check out the bonuses. Like, I just threw an insane amount of bonuses in there. Week 1, I'm gonna literally teach you guys how to utilize your business for the, like, how do you actually use the holidays? How do you use, and how do you make it easy that you can still hang out with your family? We're not working on the holidays. That's not what we're doing. We're still enjoying the shit out of it. And guess what? How much better does it feel when you sit down to relax and enjoy something after you've just crushed life? Like, just absolutely blew it out of the water. And then you sit down and then you're relaxing, having that glass of wine and eating the turkey. That feels 1,000 times better than like, oh, let me just get through the holidays and then I'll get back to like life again in January. Like, we're not doing that shit, right? So week number 1, it's how to utilize the holidays to double your income and 10x your life. It's literally just top strategies I've learned. I've just learned these strategies, right? So like, do you have something going on for Black Friday? Because did you know that that's like when everybody buys everything? Like, this is the season where people spend the most amount of shit. So let's not just let them only buy freaking screen TVs and all the other crap they're going to be spending money on, and let's let them invest in themselves and actually something that's going to change their fucking life. Like, that's something worth investing in, right? So that's week number 1. Week number 2, how to speak to your clients in a way that lights them up and gets their attention so that they actually book with you, and how to sell daily, how to sell every single day. That feels like a place of love and serving, right? Like, did you know that you can sell in a way that serves your audience? For example, this Facebook Live. I'm gonna give you guys shit tons of value in this Facebook Live, but I'm also telling you about a program that I have coming up, because I know that as I'm teaching you guys this stuff, you can see like, oh, yep, this resonates with me or this doesn't. not everybody, most people, almost everybody, I can even say almost everybody in the world would not be interested in a program like this, because this is a program for the people who are ready to show up and 10x their life and change the world, which is not most people, especially during the season where it's socially acceptable to ease off the gas pedal, right? So literally, this is like a basic skill, right? A lot of this is how. I never do groups on how, but I'm doing it on how. Like, these are like basic skills, like how to do these kind of things, selling, how to do it in a way that actually gives your audience a lot of value. Week number 3, how to handle objections. Y'all suck at objections, man. Like, okay, not only how to handle objections, but how to actually use them to market to your potential clients. Like, actually like marketing, and it's not like slimy or salesy. We're not like using their fears against them. I'm unavailable for that shit, and I'm unavailable for clients who try to do that stuff. This is not what we're talking about. I'm talking about literally people have legit objections and fears and worries. And so did you know, in your marketing or in your enrollment calls or whatever you're doing with your clients, right? When you're doing this, it doesn't, even if you're selling a product, it's the same thing. They have something in the back of their head telling them like whatever the mistakes were in the past, and they're taking that and they're projecting it into their future, right? So like that's what they're doing. They're just like throwing it into their future, and they're believing that like, no, like I'm not gonna, like I've already tried this a bunch of times and failed. Why would this one work? They just want my money, blah, 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 all the fears and all the stories that we have, right? So like, I can't afford this. I don't have time for this. Like all these kind of things that come up, it's very simple to deal with these things. And it's really an act of love, because it doesn't matter what decision they make, right? Like just like this group, doesn't matter to me what decision you make. Either you're in or out. Your soul says, yes, hell yes, I need to do this, or not, and you either back it up or you don't. And so what really matters though, what really actually matters, was that they got to have an honest choice, that they weren't meant to have this, that this wasn't part of their journey, but that you didn't know how to actually help them get through their fears onto the other side when this was really truly in alignment for them. But yet you just didn't have that skill, right? Like this is what, like, okay, no, us heart-centered entrepreneurs, we need to have the skill to be able to help people through their fears so that they can make an actual choice that's in alignment for them. One way or another, it'll be a clear and honest choice for them, right? Thank you for the love heart shower. Okay, does this make sense? Feel free to drop in any of the objections you guys usually hear or the things you're worried about with sales, right? Feel free to throw that in comments. Okay, so how to handle objections and how to use that to actually market to your clients, right? Like nobody talks about this. Why not? I'm not sure. Like, yeah, we need to address this when we're talking to people, right? Like if you guys look at the sales page for this even, I talked to you guys about your objections, things I knew that you'd have coming up. I already purchased these things. How do I know this one's gonna work? Everybody says that, but how do I know this is gonna work? Everybody wants proof before they do the work. Everybody wants to, I want to guarantee that this is going to work before I'm willing to step in. Well, honey, it will work when you decide it's going to work. It doesn't, like, there's 100 things that you could sign up for that I would crush it and get results, but you might not if you haven't decided that you're getting results from this. End of story, right? I can't do the work for you. Nobody can. Okay. Number 4, understanding the value ladder of offers. Most of you maybe don't even like newer coaches might not even know what that is. And a lot of them actually do though, but they don't know how to do it. It seems super overwhelming, right? So basically what we're just talking about is having a high-end offer, kind of like my Diamond Mastermind, right? Like that's the closest access that you get to me, except for the occasional one-on-ones that I do where they get longer length one-on-ones. And then I have, like the rotating wealthy coach group. So that's for new coaches that are coming in, and I teach them how to build their entire business and work through all the mindset shit just to like get the business running and going. And then I also have like a membership, right? So that's my lowest end offer, the Millionaire Mind membership. So that's like $197 a month, and they get tons of value in that, right? So like there, and then I have other offers that aren't groups, that aren't like, those are ongoing groups that I have. And then I have, groups like this where it's just like I'll do it once this year, I'll do it maybe once or twice next year, right? So you want to create a value ladder, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to do it, and I'm going to teach you how to do it in a way that's so easy. Like this shit has been so easy for me. I literally had people tell me like, oh, don't do that, it's such a nightmare, it's so much work. No, it's not so much work. It's very easy, right? This stuff is so easy. So understanding the value ladders of offers, and then creating an offer for your business and know which ones are right for you at this time, so that you're not creating things that you regret later, right? Like there's nothing worse than, actually I have a mentor of mine who has a membership, and she just is closing it. So it's like a year-long rotating, but I guess you can close it. It's not like you're required to, but most people feel an obligation to do it once you start it. So we get and make sure you have clarity on which one is right for you as you create this value offer in a way that still feels easy and good, right? And then how to roll your clients from one program to the next and always have an offer rotating, including how to organize this on the back end. so it's not confusing or hard, right? Like, you guys have no idea how easy this stuff is. It really is, right? So, okay, so there's that. Week 5 is implementation week to catch up on everything. And then I just come live so you guys have Q&A for anything that you've been going through. And we just like really dig in, make sure everything's done really well before we go to this next level, because the next level is pretty epic, right? And so hopefully for anybody who's not even interested in this program, you're getting an idea of kind of like what's ahead of you and like what could be available for you and how different this would be than if you're just taking the time off on the holidays and just like doing what you've been doing every single month. Like, no, we're going to 10x this shit and we're going to reach and save lives in 2019. End of story, right? So week 6, mapping out your year for your business. Did you know that you could do this? And did you know that it's actually very easy, right? I'm going to teach you how I schedule out my entire business in a way that's super easy, organized, and easy to change, because I change it all the time. Ask my team. Susan knows. I'm changing it constantly, right? But I do have a general idea of like, okay, this is what, like, I know when my retreats are coming up. I know, you know, which programs and groups that I can do. I know which ones I'm going to put on sale for the Black Friday stuff. Like, I know the ones that are coming up, and I'm going to teach you guys how to do that for yourself. Even if you don't have a bunch of offers, it doesn't matter. Having this wisdom is going to help you calm down and understand like, oh, I do have space for this. I have way more freaking time than I realized, right? That's what you're going to realize. That's what I realized. Even with all the stuff I do in my business, I'm like, this is not a lot. Like, I still have so much time, and it makes you calm down and exhale, right? And then week number 7 is raise your freaking prices. I know that most of you are way undercharging for your services because you feel really guilty and you want to make sure you don't take advantage of everyone, and you want to make sure, well, if it's not even selling at this price, why would it sell at this price, right? And I'm going to teach you how to be the high-end coach. This is something I'm an expert at. I recently was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and she helped me to realize like, wow, like, yeah, sometimes we forget because it's easy for us, and we just forget like, oh yeah, that just comes so natural and easy for me. I forget that that's what makes me the expert, and that like actually I've had massive results in people being able to do this. So yeah, right? That's something that comes really easy for me. And I will teach you how to do it in a way that feels in integrity, and you begin to see like how powerful this field, you guys hear me? This is the greatest field on the planet. There is no cap on our income. We get to literally make millions of dollars only working X amount of times a week whenever we want to, creating our own schedule, being able to travel all around the world. It's the ultimate level of freedom. We are so blessed to be part of this world. We are so, so, so blessed to be able to do this. It is really such an incredible thing, right? So it's really about stepping into a place where we're showing up at our highest level in the world. So when you're playing small, you can only take your clients as far as you're willing to go. So when you're playing small and you're doubting your own worth and you're doubting, well, can I prove this? And do I have enough proof of this? And blah, 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 right? Then what's happening is you are taking all of the attention off of them and you're putting it on yourself. So you're focusing on yourself, which is, evidence of trauma. We know this. It's just shit that you've gone through and the wiring that happened, right? And so when we can shift off of ourselves and up onto the person in front of us and we're serving them, all that's required is for us to hold heavy, high space. Like I am holding a vision for you to change the world, and I'm not stopping anywhere fucking short of that. The vision I hold for you is to change the world, which is why I would require and expect that my ideal clients are going to do programs like Relentless, because we're 10xing this going in 2019, reaching as many people as we can, because that's our mission on the planet, right? Do you see what I'm saying? So when we play a big game, which includes this is my investment exchange, that is a big game. You show up big, they show up big, and transformation happens big. So it's really important for you to learn how to do that and be in integrity doing that. Remember, value ladder doesn't mean it's the only thing you're doing, but you need to actually be able to have your nervous system in alignment with showing up at your highest level. We need you to feel safe doing that and to feel in integrity doing that. So that's the work we're doing that week, right? Week 8 is another how. I'm just teaching you how to create really epic sales pages. People are constantly mentioning that they love my sales pages. Me and Susan went through a hell of a journey getting that done. But we did get it done. And then also how to send out and create emails that make your clients feel loved and supported and make the sale, right? And then week number 9, success habits. I literally break down my habits that have created a business that's on track for, see, even the sales pitch says $1 million. We have shifted that to 2 million already. This is the work, right? And already even $1 million on my 3rd year is virtually unheard of. Right? So rare. And I'm going to teach you the success habits that got me there, because those are the things that get you there, right? Big aha for me. Not long ago, just because it comes natural doesn't mean I can't check. Yes, we were just talking about that earlier today. Just because it comes easy doesn't mean we're going to play small with it. Just because it's really easy for me to help people to really own the position of being the expert and authority in their field and to be able to command results that look like that by playing a big game with both people and allowing that massive value exchange doesn't mean that you shouldn't get paid high compensation for it. Of course you could, right? Because your purpose, call coming in, sorry. Your purpose always feels easy for you. It's just, it's born into you. It's part of your DNA and your soul and your nature and what excites you and what you love and hate about the world, right? Like this is all part of it. You see what I'm saying? So not to mention the Fast Actus bonuses. So today I decided the first 10 people will get these bonuses. The first 10 people, like listen to this, guys. Bonus number 1 is get crystal clear on who your niche is and how to speak to them in a way that lights you up. Who's your niche? Everybody wants to know this, right? Making sure it's the right one. Bonus 2, how I hit 6 figures in 4 months. I break this down into a blueprint for you guys. I literally broke down also how I made 380K in 12 months. So you get to see this is literally what I did in order to get there. And you're gonna be like, that's it? That's what you're gonna feel, right? Wait till you see this. I literally break this down and what I spent my time and energy on and how I earned this right out of the gate, because I had no email. I had, like you guys know this, no email list. I had no networking tribes. I didn't come from like a business background. I was a nanny and I was a student in school. Like I had nothing, absolutely nothing. Okay. This was literally ground up. I've heard of other people who have had success, but like they transitioned laterally out of places. Like none of this was true for me. Like if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I was just a regular fucked up girl, drinking too much, trying to figure out life, 2 baby daddies, right? Like literally like the epitome of the girl who had gone through trauma and was like really messy in those years, and just trying to really show up and love my kids and take care of my parents and do the best I could, right? So I break down like, this is possible. I mean, this is really, really possible, okay? And it does require grit, like doing things like what we're about to do in this program. This is the level that we show up at in order to be able to make stuff like this happen. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you don't show up and do the work, you're not gonna get the result. That's it, right? Okay, bonus 3, a powerful morning and evening meditation. I just wrote it today. Train your subconscious to work with you, right? So that your subconscious is backing up the things you long for and your purpose that you're meant to bring to this world, right? We need to actually have our nervous system in alignment with that. And the fastest way to do it is repetition, 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 over and over. Just like all the times you told yourself, what if this doesn't work? What if this doesn't work? What if this doesn't work? Now it just seems like it probably won't. We rewire the nervous system to be in alignment with your best self, with you showing up in the world to a 10x level, right? You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm doing the morning and evening meditations. And they're really awesome. I just wrote them and I was like, fuck, these are good. They're really fucking good. Bonus number 4, money management for entrepreneurs on the rise, right? I break down everything that you need to know, and I've just updated this, right? Because now obviously my business is even further along, but I have like the basics for the beginner, and then I have an updated version. So I break down everything you need to know about how to move your money, how much for taxes, my favorite credit cards that I use, all of that kind of stuff, right? These are all bonuses. Bonuses. Bonus number 5, you get a huge discount on the Maui retreat, right? Like I'll let you guys, huge discount. You get in for crazy cheap. And then bonus number 6 is how to be omnipresent, right? How to be everywhere on social media. So a lot of my clients are like, it's like your stuff is everywhere. Even though I take a month off, there's still stuff everywhere. And it's so simple. The system that we've created now is so simple and so easy. And you learn to actually take the pieces of content that you create and maximize using those pieces of content, right? Make sense? So I'm going to teach you how to be everywhere step by step on how to utilize one piece of content for Facebook, personal, Facebook business, Instagram, YouTube, iTunes, all of it. I teach you guys how to do that. And that's a bonus, right? So this or anything else in your life, this is the stuff I'm talking about with dealing with objections, right? Like, can we just get really honest about what keeps us stuck for a second, right? So when your intuition says hell yes, like, oh my God, hell yes. But then you're like, oh, I don't know. But what if it doesn't work? But what if I don't make my money back? But what if I can't do the work? But what if I'm new and everybody else is better than me? But what if, right? Like that shit is for the birds. We have to be done with it. Done, done, done. It's okay if it creeps in. It's okay if it pops in. Then we say, thank you. I know you're trying to keep me safe. Get the fuck out of here. Go play. We're done with this. We're staying focused on like, this is my goal. This is what I'm determined to create. I will stay in this until I'm doing this, until I have the result. And I trust that as I take every step that I don't know, I have no idea how I'm gonna make all this work, but I trust that this is a step. My soul said, hell yes. So I'm backing it up. And I have literally done this. I've ignored it a few times and gotten a punishment, but I have literally done it, right? Stop listening to all the people around you. None of of them have built success online or a business following their purpose and their passions, right? Like we're not doing the average, like this is what everybody else does. Like, and don't compare yourself to the people ahead of you either. Knock it off. Knock it off. It will kill you. Nothing will kill you faster than comparing yourself to other people. Don't give yourself permission to squirrel out and play small because the regular people around you are, and don't compare yourself to people ahead of you or who are doing something different and think that that's the way it's supposed to look for you. That's not how it needs to fucking look for you. None of that is how it needs to look for you, right? You literally get to tune in and listen to your soul on what's next for you and trust and obey it. And I'm not asking you to do anything I don't do myself. Even right now, I'm going through something incredibly hard that's personal, you know, in my life. And I'm just trusting my soul relentlessly trusting my soul, right? Okay. It's also keeping you stuck if you keep telling yourself that you should just figure it out by yourself. This is because you don't trust yourself to show up to the level of whatever the investment would be. Same thing when you're doing calls with your clients, right? Or you're doing any kind of, consultations, or when you're selling something, right? Do they believe they're worthy of having it? Do they trust themselves to show up to that level? So we have to call a spade, right? You're afraid you might be biting off more than you can chew, and you're focusing on that rather than doing what is like, this is what's available for me, and I'm going to continue to show up and do the work. Just imagine, right? Just imagine if for the next, let's say these 9 weeks, let's imagine for these 9 weeks, you showed up in a way where every time your intuition pinged you on something, you actually backed it up and listened. And then you had support to help you through it and people to celebrate it with you on the other side of that. Imagine just 9 weeks of doing that. How different might your life be if you actually showed up every time you had a message that downloaded on you and you actually let it out regardless of what you look like. If you actually created the thing that creative idea came up and you actually created it and you actually did it and you did it right then and you banged it out and you put it out there as is without over fucking complicating it and making it all about you. You just showed up and then you relentlessly just kept giving your message to the world and letting people hear it and letting the people that were meant to come to you, giving the universe an avenue to send people to you that they're meant to like learn from you and hear your voice. Just 9 weeks of showing up with just that, nothing else. That will change your whole fucking life. That'll change the entire trajectory of your business, right? Like we don't show up to this level. This is what the calling is, right? Okay. And the other part is really spending your time trying to learn and do strategies while you're lacking the confidence and consistency, which is the real work, right? Like I say all the time, great, I'm gonna teach you how to do a sales page, but if you're stuck in like, oh my God, but if I put this out there, nobody's gonna buy it and I'm gonna look like an idiot. I know, we've all thought that. I feel like the same thing sometimes, right? So we feel that way, but you're not gonna create a powerful, like the energy that you're creating your stuff with is the energy that people will feel when they're reading it and is the energy that you're calling people into. So if you're like, I'm not sure if this is gonna work, I'm gonna overgive and I'm gonna like over detail this and blah, 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 and you're focused on all that stuff, like that is the vibration that you're putting out there. That's what it is. And that's what you're gonna get out of it. But if you're coming from this powerful place of service and you're focused on their needs and where they're looking to go and the results they're gonna get and calling their ass to more in this place, and that's what you're putting out there, that is a completely different energetic feel they get on the other side of that. And you're gonna have completely different results. So it's not just about building the sales page, it's about building the sales page from a place that's going to actually fucking change the world. That's what we're doing, right? Okay, you think it'll just magically happen. This is another thing keeping you stuck. Like, oh, like I'm just gonna do this, or I'm gonna throw this one thing out there, I'm gonna do this once, or I'm just, I'm gonna get my oils and my crystals and I'm gonna read these books and I'm gonna do every free training that there is out there, right? And I'm gonna meditate, I'm gonna journal every once in a blue moon, not consistently. And then I'm gonna post up mantras all around my house and my sticky notes and this will magically happen for me, right? So you can magically stay in a space of expecting it to happen for you and shift lots of shit, lots and lots and lots of shift, but lots of shit. But we're calling you to a place where you are utilizing those things to feel better as you stay in the place of taking massive action, trusting that everything's gonna work out. If you knew you couldn't fail, if you knew this would work, how would you be showing up? What would you be doing differently, right? We call this planning to fail. Don't plan to fail. Just one of my clients was like, oh, I put a group together, but I didn't pick a date because what if nobody signs up? You just plan to fail, so you will fail. You just gave yourself room to fail, so you will, because we're humans and that's what we do, right? If you give yourself an out, you're gonna take it every time. So we plan to win, we plan to crush it, and we do what's required. as we do the things to feel better and be in the vibration of allowing it to come to us, we take steps of faith. We actually are taking steps of faith right from the get-go. We're not sitting there waiting for it, right? We're actively pursuing it because faith means that we would be behaving like we know it's going to happen, which means if we're in a state of faith and we know it's going to happen, we would be taking action because we know it's going to happen, right? Aw, thanks, Barbara. Hi, Sarah. Okay, the next one, are you guys ready for this? You're stuck in negative Nancy mode. You think that everyone who sells is innately bad and they just want your money, and you're convinced that others will feel the same about you if you show up and sell. You're focused on the no's you might get. Like, what if somebody says no, or oh my God, 2 people said no. Come on, you're gonna be doing this with thousands of people. It's 2, knock it off, right? You daydream about failing, looking stupid, being broke, having to go back to your job or never being able to leave your job, and definitely how it seems everyone else seems to get this except for you. Why does it seem like everybody else gets it, but I don't? How come I can't just figure this out, right? Negative Nancy will keep you stuck all day, every day, and give you every fucking excuse that you could ever possibly need to not show up and 10x your life. Yes. Okay, next, lacking confidence. I don't feel confident that I'll be able to get them the result. Well, that's all about you. An act of love means that even if you felt uncomfortable, you would be willing to show up and serve other people. You're looking past how it feels for you in the moment, and you're actually willing to show up and serve them anyway, right? And you're not going to build confidence sitting in your computer chair, right? You build confidence by doing the thing that you want to build confidence around, right? If you're convinced you just need to learn one more thing or get one more certification or get one more result before you can be the expert, right? This is not going to happen. Or you're terrified that somebody's going to call you a fraud or figure out that you're a fraud. All of this stuff keeps you stuck. Right? Another one, you're afraid to be judged for being the real you. The real me is loud and kind of rambunctious and swears, and I show up whether I have makeup on or not. Sometimes I don't have pants on, and I talk about taboo things that other people don't want to talk about because that's what makes my soul feel alive. I want to talk about that shit. I want to talk about this stuff. I want to talk about how people think money is bad, you guys. Like, and you'll be evil, and what does it mean when other people are showcasing their wealth? Like, what does that actually fucking mean? Because I know most people are judging them for being superficial, but little do you know, right? Little do you know, you were the one being superficial by judging that, because they're just a human being with things that don't mean a whole lot to them because it's easier for them to come by, right? And so like, what's the big deal in showcasing, look at the level that I've gotten to, this is available for you too. There's so much to learn in all of that stuff, right? So, another side of that is thinking that you have to be bigger or louder if you're not, right? If you're more like completely zen and soft and whatever, like, come on, that's like home to some people. I am not home to some people. Some people are like, yeah, I can't even with this, like, go away. I can't, la, 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 la. Right? I'm aware of this. I'm completely aware of this. And oftentimes those people will circle back and end up working with me. And oftentimes they're some of my absolute favorite clients. But at the same time, this is about us actually being true to soul and being who we're meant to be in this world. So if you're staying in a place where you're not being yourself, then you never get to learn like, oh, this is a process, right? There's a process of as you become successful in your life, people will come to you and flock to you because your message and truth is one that they can hear really well. They can like hear you through the fog. And then other people who aren't meant to be with you, they go away, and they need to go away because they need to go find their person that they're meant to be learning from, right? Or they just can't handle what they're being called to yet, and they need to go and do some more healing before they can come back and they can actually be called to the level that you're calling them to. Either way, this is a normal part of the process, right? So you've got to start being yourself and really being full-blown yourself, because the people who are meant to work with you can't find you if you're still kind of playing some kind of socially nice game or whatever rules you have put on yourself, right? And then the other one is just kind of, I mean, I wish there was a different way to say it, but really waiting for someone to give you permission. Like, it feels reckless, or it feels irresponsible, or it feels like maybe God's shutting the door. Maybe this isn't meant for me because it wasn't easy. Like, no. If changing the world was fucking easy, everybody would do it. It's not just like, oh, it's not magically happening and it's just easy and the doors keep parting. It's not how it is, right? How it is like we get an intuitive prompt and then we're like, oh, well, anything but that, soul. Like, no, I'm not doing that. And then we pretend we didn't hear it. It's just a kind of insta habit. We just pretend we didn't hear it, and then we just go about doing a bunch of busy work and fucking numb out and watch Netflix and drink wine and do whatever we do to numb out, right? Instead of being like, whoa, my soul just called me to that. What's going on there? Like, okay, I'm going to trust this. I'm going to step into it. And I don't know how it's all going to work, but I'm trusting my soul relentlessly, right? It's a completely different way of living life. Hold on, let me check the chat. We start the 29th of this month. You are my opposite mirror, but you inspire the shit out of me, and I now swear more and I love it. Oh my God, I couldn't agree more. I was thinking this earlier. I know. So many people come to me and they're like, if you didn't swear, you'd have so many more clients. And I'm like, yeah, that's not my job. My job isn't to like appeal to everybody. It's just not my role in this world, right? Like, there's no way I can contain all of this. You guys see this? What? I cannot contain this. And I can't be sitting here trying to moderate myself or monitor myself because some people might not like it. Like, I know and trust and believe that who I honestly am in integrity today is meant for the people who are meant to work with me, and that's just it. Like, end of story, right? And like everything. So the other perk of that is like, I also tell every single person I work with anything they want to know about my business or my life or about how to do something or about a resource, about anything. I don't hold anything back. And sometimes it triggers me like, oh my God, it took me 2 years to figure that out. And I just gave it to them in 5 seconds on like a $97 program. And that does trigger me. And I do it anyway, because my rule of thumb is the client comes first, and I get to give everything I have in the moment. And as I give everything in the moment, not only are the people that are with me completely loved on and supported, but I get to grow at the fastest pace while I do that. I give the massive amount, like as much value as I have to give at any given moment. And I really teach my clients to do the same thing, because everybody gets rewarded that way. It's the same thing. We're playing a big fucking game. We're playing a big game. We're changing the world. We're not playing small. We're not just making a paycheck. That shit's for the birds. That's not what we're doing. If that's what somebody's looking for, I'm definitely not the person to lead them there, right? Because I just am not playing that game. No, nope. Yes, girl, owning your crazy. By the way, I always stay close to people that are my opposite and trigger the crap out of me too. This is literally, I don't ask any of my clients to do anything I don't do myself. I literally do it myself. I do. And when they ask me something that is something that I haven't worked through or it's chosen into myself yet, I'm just honest about it. That's it. I'll just tell the truth, right? Okay. How are you all feeling about this? I'm literally ridiculously excited about Relentless. I'm so excited. Like, can you just imagine going into 2019 this way? Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention is the group that I'm running right now. We actually started a messenger chat. So I wanted to see how I liked it. Like, did it feel overwhelming? Was it like, oh, like I wanted to find out what was the energy or the vibe inside of it, all those kind of things. I love it. We love it. We're talking every single day in there. I get to know the girls like they're friends. Like, it's absolutely amazing. So Relentless will have a running chat. So like literally you have full access to me all the time for any question that you have, always. Right there in the chat. And I can audio you back, I can message you back, I can tell you whatever you want to know. And the vibe in there is so amazing and encouraging, and it's so epic. It's like a whole, like, it feels like a whole family, just like boom, like a family there for you. Like people that encourage you and care about anything that you have going on, anything and any questions that you have. It's really fucking epic. So that's also in there. Okay. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments and let me know. Also, feel free to let anybody know that you think might resonate with this. It obviously helps me just reach people. And just so everybody knows, you are the vibe. That's good to share. Okay, and just so everybody else knows, also I have a free training going on that I'm running live this Saturday, but the recording will be available. And there's a Facebook Live below with the information on how to get into that free group. So that's basically for newer coaches who still aren't fucking making money, right? That's who that's for. And Relentless is for the people who have completely fucking decided that I'm 10xing life and I'm going to the next level. My Diamond Mastermind girls will be in there. I will be in there every day, and I can't wait to see you guys. First 10 people get the bonuses. There's definitely still spots open for the bonuses. And then if you have any questions, just email support@mandyperry.com or message me. Yeah. Hi, Lindsay. Oh, my cousin's on here. Okay, guys, I'm now sweating. I need a table fan for when I do Facebook Lives because I get all crazy and fired up. All right, I love you guys so much. If you have any questions, just post in the comments and let me know. I love you. Have a fantastic night.